Tesla brought and parked 3,000 Model Y vehicles at Berlin airport. There is a strange development between Tesla Giga Berlin and the German capital's two airports. Tesla parked 2,000 new Model Ys in front of the Berlin Terminal number 5 shortly before the Christmas holiday. And there are 1,000 more Model Ys at the new airport. This has nothing to do with marketing and has everything to do with Giga Berlin's capacity. Everything to do with that. And in this report, I'm about to tell you that. So why did Tesla do this and park 3,000 Model Y electric cars at the parking lot of Berlin's airports? At first I thought perhaps this was a marketing technique. I thought maybe the Tesla's hope was that the thousands of Model Y cars would catch the eyes of and the interest of thousands of travelers traveling in and out of Berlin, and Tesla could further grow its car sales in Germany because Germany is a huge market. Giga Berlin is there. But it appears that this was not a marketing technique, although it may be the secondary result of it. It looks pretty spectacular, as you saw on the thumbnail of this video before clicking on this to watch this video. Anyway, the reason the Gigafactory Berlin in Grünheide is ramping up production rapidly. 8,000 employees are already building 3,000 Tesla models every week. The delivery warehouse next to the factory is too small for that. A 100-hectare expansion area has been applied for by Tesla, but the development plan is still missing. The solution to the space problem by Tesla Giga Berlin, the Berlin airport. The old Terminal 5 has been permanently shut down. Its car parking gap empty. Since the parking lot is empty, Tesla's logistics service provider 4S has rented the space, said airport spokesman Hannes Honnemann to BZ, for the time being until mid-January. Extensions are possible if Tesla further ramps up production at Giga Berlin. Sufficient parking spaces are still available for Berlin passengers and employees at the Terminal 1 and Terminal 2, because unlike Tesla, Berlin's airport is slow to get going. So, interesting news from Giga Berlin ramping up production. On another note, earlier today I reported that Tesla stock got very unexpected support from Korean day traders. We are talking about $3 billion. And in this report, also I'm going to tell you the details of this happening, perhaps the only good news about Tesla stock these days. But please subscribe to our channel if you're here first time and give us thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. So Bloomberg today reported that South Korean retail investors have bought a net $2.8 billion worth of Tesla stock this year amid the electric vehicle maker's worst slump on record. Day traders have added $160 million in Tesla shares this month only through December 27, and on track for third month of net purchases according to data from Korea Securities Depository. Elsewhere in China, Tesla China just this morning released a statement correcting Giga Shanghai's January shutdown, correcting the rumor of shutdown. It has posted a correction to recent reports alleging that Gigafactory Shanghai's production would be shut down from January 20 to 31st of 2023. Yesterday, Reuters published a report claiming that Tesla China would be reducing Giga Shanghai's output next month. The publication claimed that the China-based electric vehicle manufacturing plant would only be active for 17 days, since production would be paused from January 20 to 31. Reuters cited an internal schedule as the source of its information. As one of you rightfully noted, keep in mind, China's shutdown has not only dependent on Tesla, but also from suppliers. In response to the recent reports, a representative from Tesla China shared a correction to local media outlet Caijing.com. According to Tesla China, the dates outlined in the recent reports were inaccurate, as Giga Shanghai's workers would only be getting an extra day off before and after the Chinese New Year. For context, the Chinese New Year for 2023 will fall on January 22nd, a Sunday, so workers will typically get January 21, 27 off as per China highlights from Saturday. Here's the quote I want to share with you. The rumored information about Tesla's holiday is not accurate, Tesla said. In fact, most of the employees of the Shanghai Gigafactory will be on holiday from January 20 to 28, which will be one day longer than the statutory holiday before and after, allowing everyone to flexibly arrange their homecoming time, which is good news. Tesla also continued saying some employees have spent the holidays in place for the past 2 years and have not been home for the new year for several years. Also, during this period, some workshops still need to continue to operate at high speed, and we have made preparations for the relevant arrangements, the Tesla China representative noted. So you see, Reuters is kind of wrong again. What a shocker. I always shake my head when they hide behind sources familiar with the situation, or general media does that, sources familiar with the situation. So who are those sources? Which may be, for example, could be, who knows, a DoorDash driver chatting with a couple of fired employees from Giga Shanghai being shown at the door pick up their food. While Tesla China's statement suggests that the company may be easing off the accelerator and letting its employees have some rest, which is a good thing. You need to rest. Work 7 days, 6 days, and rest on the 7 days. The upgrades that were rolled out to Giga Shanghai this year mean that the facility could still produce a substantial number of vehicles in January despite fewer production days. With this in mind, Tesla China's January schedule may not be too bearish at all. But we will know about that when January numbers come out in early February. So look for that and subscribe to this channel if you are here first time so I can report that for you. Tesla's production cuts this month come at a time when China is facing disruptions in manufacturing operations due to the hopefully end of its zero COVID policy. The general auto sector in China has also been facing some difficulties, though new energy vehicles produced by companies such as BYD have seen notable success as of late. Now, on a brighter note, Tesla has confirmed 2 days ago that its 4680 battery cell production has now reached a level that can support the production of over 1,000 cars a week. This is a very good sign, especially considering Tesla is going to still ramp up this number. The 4680 battery cell is a new format that Tesla unveiled back in 2020 as the automaker's first cell developed from the ground up. In the past, Tesla had been involved in cell development, but it was mainly about tuning the chemistry of existing 18650 and 2170 cell formats. Now, Tesla planned to develop a cell of its own with a much bigger format, enabling by a tabless design. Tesla also planned to manufacture the cells itself along through partnership with existing cell manufacturers. The more Tesla manufactures its own battery, the less costly Tesla vehicles will be and less costly they will be for you buyers. That was more than 2 years ago, and we haven't had a clear look at the progress of Tesla's own 4680 battery cells production. Tesla has held tightly to its battery cell manufacturing data, and we had no idea how much Tesla has been producing. Now, the last official data point that Tesla released was the first million cell completed at its pilot plant in Fremont, and that was back in February 2022 actually. Since then, Tesla has only released a few statements about percentage increases in its production rate without confirming the actual production rate. So 2 days ago, Tesla confirmed the actual production rate for the first time, stating that the team produced 868,000 4680 battery cells over the last week. Here's what Tesla said. Congrats to the 4680 cell team on achieving 868,000 cells built in the last 7 days, equal to 1,000 plus cars. Now, friends, that's enough to produce over 1,000 Model Y vehicles. The cells are used to produce one type of Model Y vehicle with a structural battery pack at Gigafactory, Texas. Alongside the pilot plant in Fremont, the automaker is also establishing higher volume production at the Texas plant for a shorter supply chain, which is a good news. The shorter your supply chain, the less expensive your cost. While Tesla battery supply constraints have eased up over the last year, thanks to suppliers ramping up production, a lot of the automaker's growth in 2023 is expected to be tied to its capacity to ramp up 4680 cell production. So that's key. Therefore, this milestone is good to hit just ahead of the new year. If you want to see how things go in 2023, so please subscribe to our channel so you know I'm going to report those things. I report here daily Tesla and electric vehicle news. Please also give us thumbs up if you found this report informative, helpful, useful. tweet it out, share in social media, and also let me know your thoughts in the comment section about all these topics that I discussed here. We can have a discussion, continue it in the comment section below. God bless you. Have a great rest of the day or evening wherever you may be, and I'll see you soon in our next report.